Welcome back to Yankees Hot Stove. I'm Meredith Marakovitz, and I'm now joined with Yankees relief pitcher Shawn Kelley. Shawn, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. How about yourself?
Can't complain, up here doing the Hot Stove show as we start to look ahead to next season. But before we do that, how do you approach the offseason? When do you start throwing again? When do you start kind of getting in the swing of things?
Well, I give myself a little bit of a break from baseball workouts and from workouts just in general for about a month. And then just recently I've kind of started to get, I didn't really get out of shape, but kind of start to get my body going again. And then I start throwing December 2nd.
With the amount of innings you threw last year, how nice was it to have a break to kind of relax and kind of unwind a little bit after this season?
It was very nice, and it was nice to sit back and feel like I, in a way, kind of earned it. I've had some seasons that have been cut short in the past, and to have a full season, with the Yankees, and to feel like I helped out, and then to be able to put my feet up for a few days was a nice feeling.
When you look back at last season, how do you evaluate it as a whole, as far as your personal performance was concerned?
I honestly felt like it was probably my best season. A lot of my numbers were probably the better that I had, especially the bulk that I pitched in. My ERA kind of was a little higher than I would have liked it to be, but if you look back and you take out a couple weeks at the beginning and maybe a couple weeks at the end, it's a totally different story. So that doesn't really bother me. On a personal level, the role that I had and the trust that Larry and Joe showed in me, I felt really good about this season, and I'm really looking forward to moving forward. When
you look at the success that you did have, a lot of strikeouts for you, particularly off that slider, what was the biggest difference for you? Was it just getting the opportunity, being healthy, or was there something different with those pitches?
I think I'm a pretty competitive person, and of course any probably pitcher would tell you this, but I think the more key role, the more pressure, the more adrenaline I have going, the more effective I've been. I've kind of, if you look back over the numbers and kind of dissect it, you can tell that when the role presents itself, that something's on the line, I tend to have done a little better. And I feel like the challenge that I was given, when Jabba went down, Larry came to me and he said, hey, you had your struggles early, you're doing better now, you're our seventh inning guy. Go out there and help us win ball games. And from that point on, I pretty much just accepted the challenge, and I had fun doing it.
We'll start looking ahead a little bit. What type of role do you expect to have with this team in 2014?
Well, Mariano left, so aren't I the closer?
I don't know. Are you? You tell me. That would be news to us. Would you like to be the closer?
No, you know what? Honestly, I just whatever they need me to do, obviously. But if I can pitch, if I can come in when the starter's in trouble, whether that's the fifth or the sixth. If I can latch down the seventh, with another guy, with a lefty, however, if they want to give me a whole inning, whatever they want to do. If I can pitch in key games, which what I've realized for the Yankees, I haven't been with Seattle previously, is that when you're in New York, every game is a little intense and has a lot of pressure on it. So anytime I can pitch and help the team win, that's what I want. That's what I want to throw.
Well, in all seriousness, you mentioned Mariano Rivera, obviously a Hall of Fame closer that you're losing. Huge hole for this team to fill. So how do you go about? Obviously, the front office and the organization has some work to do as far as finishing out and filling that bullpen. But how does a team as a whole and a bullpen as a whole go into a season knowing that you're not going to have that guy anymore in the back end?
Well, it's obviously a big change when you lose a first ballot Hall of Famer like that. But you look at some other pieces and you see that we obviously had one of the best eighth inning guys in the game in David Robertson, and whether he ends up staying in the eighth inning or closing based on what moves we make. And I know there's a couple guys out there. I know Balfour's out there, Nathan, guys like that are have experience that could help out in the back end. So obviously, whatever they want to do, I'm sure they're going to put together, the best bullpen possible. So, but with what we've got coming back, and with obviously, I'm sure they're going to add a couple of pieces. I don't think the bullpen is going to be an issue of concern this year.
When you look at last year, some of those young guys you talked about, and some of the guys coming back, was there anybody that surprised you in the bullpen?
Well, obviously Preston Claiborne, because I've been in that situation, a young guy that came up kind of not really knowing how long I was going to be there, not knowing my expectation, not really knowing if I can even pitch in the big league. And for him to come up and especially those first couple of months and just do what he did, he continued to impress me all season. And I know at the end he didn't finish the way he wanted, but if you look back over the last probably 365 days of his his career with what he did with winter ball and stuff, and in the fall and then into the spring and into the season, he was obviously just fatigued. But what he did those first several months, coming up as a guy that and ended up pitching in some key roles, and that, I mean, I'm still just baffled by how he handled that and how well he continually did.
Hey, Shawn, before I let you go, a lot of question marks with this team heading into this offseason and into the 2014 season, looking at Robinson Cano, what will happen with him, what other free agents will they go out and get, who will be healthy, who won't be healthy. So in this offseason, how much time do you spend paying attention to what's going on and to what the Yankees are doing or who they're looking at?
You know what? I just follow you on Twitter, and I just wait for you to tell me what we're going to do. No, you know, I'm pretty, by some of the comments I've read, I'm pretty sure they're going to go out and do what they have to do. And if you look back at what we did last season with everything we had to face and all the injuries that we went through, I can't imagine that we're not going to be just even better and just build off that because of the guys that are getting healthy and anything they can add. And if we can get Robbie back and you know, it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to this season.
Should be an exciting one. Shawn, we thank you very much for the time, and we'll see you this spring.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.